Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us.
What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin with Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Post Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Oh, hey, how you doing? I just always want to do that too, Jason. Can you do that?
No.
Try it real quick.
No.
It's kind of it's like exercise for your mouth.
Okay. Well, that's good.
It's like stretching, but with your mouth. To meditate, it's relaxing.
Okay.
Try it real quick.
No.
Come on.
I tried it whenever I was in Spanish in school. It didn't work.
That's not what I'm referring to, though. It's just
the same difference.
Well, Michelle would appreciate it because I know how to roll my R's.
Well, I'm sure she would.
Guardian defense. Guardian.
Well, I'm glad you can roll your R's.
You know how I did that? Because we had a dog growing up, man. That thing would growl all the time, and so we'd always go, and that's where it started. We had an old red F-150. My dad
Red F-150.
Red F-150. We had a dog named Hooch, all right? Hooch is from the movie Turner and Hooch.
I remember Turner and Hooch.
Hooch is another word for a beverage.
Okay, yeah.
My dad named the dog Hooch. It's the best dog we ever had. Sorry, Mac. Sorry, Stella. Sorry, Jenny. Although my little Jenny dog was, man, that was the best dog ever.
It was the best dog?
She was the best.
Cool.
It tore me up when I lost her. She's 20 years old. And, yeah, that was, get a little tore up thinking about her. She was my favorite. That's been a long time ago. She was my favorite little dog. That dog was with me through some of the toughest times in my life. Mm-hmm. And she was a runaway. She just showed up one day when I was living in downtown Georgetown. She just comes skedaddling up to my house. It's like she needed me and I needed her.
That's it.
And that
we think we pick our dogs. Our dogs pick us.
I agree with that, man. I wholeheartedly agree with that. She came into my life. I took her to the vet. The vet said, well, she's probably 3 years old based on her teeth. Her teeth were pretty bad. She's in bad shape. Got her cleaned up. She was like a black lab collie chow mix. She was little, not like super big, but you know my Stella dog. She was a little bit smaller than Stella.
Right.
And that little Jenny dog was the sweetest thing. She minded me. She loved to go on rides. I could keep the doors off my Jeep, cruise into the coffee shop, leave her in the seat. She wouldn't get out. She'd wait on me. My dad would come over to the house. He loved her so much, he'd open his truck door. She'd jump in his truck, and he loved the dog so much, he'd take her on rides. That's it. She was just a fun dog to be around. Mm-hmm. And she stayed in the house, but she also kind of stayed outside. I'd let that dog do whatever she wanted because she was just that good.
I hear you.
Didn't have a fence at the time. And so she'd wander the neighborhood, and the neighbors all loved her until the day that Miss Jonna and her boyfriend were cooking some briskets. And Jenny was making her rounds. Vanessa Carl, making her way downtown. Dun, 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 dun. She was making her way around town. You know that song, Jason?
No, I don't.
You'll like it if you hear it.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, I'm rubbing my eyes. She'd made her way downtown.
She made her way downtown.
Which was the neighbor's house. They had that brisket, man. They had just got through. They were letting it sit on the picnic table. You know, I guess to kind of, I don't know what you call it.
They were letting it rest.
Letting it rest. That's right.
You have to let it rest.
They were letting it rest. Mm-hmm. Well, Jenny decided she was going to disturb that rest, and she jumped up there and chewed it to pieces and ate it up. Can't blame her.
No, probably.
Can't blame her. And here comes Jonna's boyfriend next door.
I thought it was downtown. Now it's next door.
Well, that's what I was referring to. Downtown was next door. And so he comes to the door and said, Rob, man, I hate to tell you, but your dog ate my brisket. I gave him I think I gave him $50. Back then it was cheaper. I gave him $50. I said, man, I'm so sorry. They didn't get super upset, but I built a fence. You know, that dog ended up going on, based on the 3 years that the vet said she was. I had her for 17 years, so that's why I say 20. Mm-hmm. And out of all the things that got her, 19 and a half years of her life that I had her, well, I guess you'd say 16 and a half because she was 3.
16 and a half.
16 and a half that I had her. We had deer all over don't get me started on deer. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm about had it with those guys. 16 and a half years. She'd chase the deer in our yard. She'd run. She was super fast. I have videos of her just going crazy and super athletic little dog. She was outside, ran a lot. Of all the things that got her, and by the way, I forgot to mention, when she was about 10, she had 10 or 11, she had dental surgery. The vet said, normally we don't operate on dogs like this, but your dog still has the mentality and the physique and whatever you want to call it. The energy level of a puppy. So he goes, I'll gladly operate. And he did. And she was fine. Of all the things that could have happened to her, didn't get hit by a car, didn't get sick, didn't have some other disease.
Right.
It was something I could have prevented.
What was that?
Stupid, stinking heartworms.
Heartworms?
It's the last 6 months of her life is what got her. And I never thought about it. Never did. Never really thought about it. Didn't think about it. And so, as Bob Barker would say, instead of neutering or spaying them, make sure you get heartworm medicine for your pets. She probably would have still been here today.
I doubt
that. She would have been going on 40 if it was still in, man.
Hey, but you look at it this way, man. There's always a cause for us to no longer be on this earth.
Yeah, well, her cause.
When it's our time, it's our time. It doesn't matter what it is.
Her cause was up. I'll never forget the day, man, that I had to take her and put her down. And that day, she was still jumping around as much as she could. But I knew that it was time. The night before, she wasn't moving hardly. And I said, man, and she kept having these seizures where she'd lock up and fall over. And I said, I just can't do this anymore.
It's not humane for her.
No. And so I took her, and I called it One Last Ride, and I have a picture of her. It ended up being black. The picture actually turned out black and white, which
that's cool.
It was cool. Some Google thing automatically corrected it for me. And it's her hanging out of my window, and in the rear view, you see her little face, and her little tongue's just sticking out. And one last ride for Jenny.
One last ride.
I want to switch gears and welcome you all in as we get started. Episode 376. Time to pick up the sticks.
376, pick up sticks.
Here on Good Morning Huntsville, we want to welcome you in. This morning, we also want to welcome all of you now joining us on Spirit Radio FM as we just turned that platform on. So all of you this morning joining us on Spirit Radio FM, welcome in. Let us know that you're out there today. If you're on the social media feeds, whether you're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you may be, send a comment. Let us know you're there. Do us a huge favor as we get started. Go ahead and like and share this broadcast. Do us a favor, too. Hit that little @ sign and type in the word followers or @TopFans, and that will share it with your friends as well. We would certainly appreciate that. If you're a member of any groups, share it to the groups as well. Oh, I did want to mention, not boasting on this, but I'm and it's because of the community. Mm-hmm. The Huntsville, Texas News and Events Group is now the largest Facebook group in the area.
That's awesome.
For Huntsville. 26,000, almost 27,000
More than
members.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, it's because that group has its purpose. Because you like to know what's going on all around. But we just promote the good. I still laugh because someone in there said, well, why don't you go create a page about the good? That's what we did. So we do want to say thank you to everybody for that, and we're working hard behind the scenes. If you'd like to be an administrator of that group, we really do need some help. I've got 2 other folks that help out with that, but we do need more help because there is a lot of people posting. One of the rules is if you got a business, don't post every single day in there, and there's some people that I know they're trying to promote their business, but after a while it just gets lost in translation. So, we have to go through and moderate a lot of that stuff. We do want to promote business, not just for us. We put our morning show in there every single day and news that we're sharing throughout the community, but we do want businesses to be lifted up and encouraged, but we don't want them every single day posting the same thing about what they do because it just gets old. So we have a rule that it's once a month you can post about your business in there. But we need help. If you'd like to be an administrator of that group, would love to have you join us. And all you got to do is just send me a comment or a message and let us know. We are here, though. Big shout-out, as always, to Elliott's Jewelers from Elliott's Jewelers, Elliott Herzlich, online at elliottjewelers.com. 12 of these remaining. We got another one sold. 12 jewelries remaining. And, by the way, this will end at the end of this week. Friday is the last day that you can partake of the Care Center Huntsville promotion that we are helping to raise some funds for our friends at Care Center Huntsville. So that promotion will end on Friday. We still have 12 sets of jewelry remaining. There are diamond necklaces and diamond earring pendants as well. It's very beautiful, valued at $319. You can get it for only a suggested donation of $100. Richard and Linda, I did not forget about you. We had a grand prize last week, Jason, and they won.
Really?
Richard did. He texted in for his wife, and Linda was listening. She shouldn't have been because he could have had a nice Christmas and just didn't even have to go do anything. Mm-hmm. But now he's going to have to because she was listening. But we provided, we donated $100 on behalf of Care Center Huntsville to promote them. And we kept one of those, and we gave it away as a prize along with 4 chili tasting packages from Josie Scout Lodge coming up in February. And
that's going to be a fun event.
It's going to be great. And on top of that, we gave away $50 Cafe Texan gift cards.
Wow.
So it's about a $500 value that we gave away a super prize on.
Super prize.
I just got through finishing a government class at college, and I learned about PACs and super PACs, just to touch a little bit of political things here on the show. Right. So I decided they can have their super PACs. We'll have our super prize.
Super prize.
I don't even know how that ties in, Jason.
I don't either. Sounds good, though.
And, of course, Guardian Defense here with us, Jason Thompson, the Thompson family, for all things personal security and more. Jason Thompson joining us today. I'm kind of out of it this morning. It's been a weird last couple of days. Yesterday, many folks know, a deer decided to say hello to my truck. I have it on video, literally within I should have downloaded it so folks could see this.
You should have seen it. You should have posted it.
It's literally within a second. I had no time to react. That dude just popped up out of. Normally, I'm very aware when I'm driving. I'm looking left. I'm looking right. I'm looking ahead. I'm very aware.
Did you hit this deer in your neighborhood?
I didn't hit. No, it's on 19 on the access road.
Really?
I did not hit the deer.
The deer hit you.
The deer literally hit me.
He committed suicide.
He just said, "I'm done," and he jumped right in front of me and said, "You know what? I'd rather just get hit by a car than getting shot by a gun." And he jumped in front of me, or she jumped in front of me. Mm-hmm. But literally within a second, I have it on video, Jason, within 1 second, out of nowhere, boom, bam, done. This thing, I thought, oh, it's no problem. I kind of laughed because I was at this point, sometimes in life, especially if you go to like Sunday school or church, whenever you're young, they'll ask, who do you relate to most in the Bible? Mm-hmm. I've been in a Job season now about 38 of my 40 years of my life. So I relate most to Job. And the Job season continues, and that's okay. I've came to terms with it. But here's the deal. I thought, no problem. I just kind of laughed when it happened. I was safe. I went like this. I went, whatever. That's exactly what I said. I just didn't even say anything bad. Normally, the old me, I would have been throwing, cussing, kicking, screaming.
Yeah.
I just kind of went, whatever. I pulled over very slowly. I got out and examined. I said, well, there goes my grill, whatever. No problem. Got back in the truck, started driving. Well, I decided to call our buddy Nelson Amaya. Nelson Amaya's Collision Center on Sycamore. Mm-hmm. He said, bring it on in. Brought it by there yesterday. Alicia is a wonderful young lady, been there forever. And she took a look at it. And I started to discover that I couldn't open the passenger door.
Really?
I said, well, what happened here? And so I looked, and what do you call that fender? Is it a fender or is it a quarter panel? I don't know what it's called.
I'm not sure it's a fender.
It's a quarter panel?
I don't know.
Quarter panel?
It's probably a quarter panel.
Quarter panel. Definitely ain't going to cost a quarter, that's for sure. It's on the passenger side, quarter panel. I open that up, and you can see where the paint marks are, where all the bolts are. Well, guess what? You see metal because that quarter panel got shifted back, and that's why the door won't open. Mm-hmm. Again, I kind of laugh, whatever, right? Well, then I noticed a little bit of meat and hair on the side of that quarter panel. So I said, there's your proof that the deer really did hit the front, wrap around the back. Then on top of that, good old Alicia notices that the horn is also jammed up into the air AC compressor. Then on top of that, the headlight is busted on the back side. That's all going to have to be redone. Then on top of that, the running board on the side of the truck is completely dented up. So it ain't just going to be one of these little grill replacements.
Not going to be a grill replacement?
Nope. It's I said, I should have called my boy Chad Jackson. I mentioned I should have called Chad Jackson. He's got a bunch of grills. He's the master of wearing the grills. I could have just got a grill from him. I would have been good to go. Chad Jackson Gospel was going to hook me up. So anyways, that's just part of the story. Now, in the words of Paul Harvey, here's the rest of the story.
Yes.
I got up this morning, planted Bridget this beautiful magnolia tree, had them on sale at HEB. It was $32. Got it for her birthday. It's an early birthday present. She's always wanted one. It's a little gem magnolia tree. Just a little gem, but they grow to 15 feet wide, 20 to 25 feet high. Pretty big tree for that. Let me just say, in life, I've learned to take advice of people, but I've also learned that I should go with my gut.
Right.
Somebody said, oh, no problem. These are deer resistant. The deer won't mess with these plants. Not at all. My gut told me otherwise.
Which one was right?
My gut was right, and I didn't go with it. Mm-hmm. Common sense told me don't put that there without putting anything around it. I woke up this morning, tree's completely gone. It snapped all into pieces, the deer, and I went back on the Ring camera, and at about midnight 30, this little sweet little deer, she just prances over and says, oh, this is the house that killed my sister earlier in the morning. Now I'm going to kill your tree. And she ate that tree to pieces. And it looked like a tornado just hit that little tree because there's little twigs and leaves and pieces everywhere. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, deer and I aren't friends right now. I knew good and well when I moved into the neighborhood that the deer are there.
Right.
One of the things that annoys me most, and if you're this person, you annoy me, if you move into a neighborhood where there's deer, don't act like you're going to run a deer out because you should know that you move into the neighborhood that deer live there. Mm-hmm. Sometimes can they get overpopulated? Yeah, absolutely. And I think there needs to be some control, but that's one of the reasons we loved where we moved. I love seeing the wildlife. Mm-hmm. I don't mind the deer. I just know better than to plant plants in the front yard. I thought a tree would be different. No, sir.
Deer like browse.
Well, they like that tree.
Which is like young trees, something tender to chew on.
Well, long story short, the deer are out for me right now, and I really don't care. So I just laugh it off. Just don't come at me. Here's what I said yesterday. I said, just whatever's happening right now, just stay away from my wife and my children. Stay away from my wife. Stay away from my children. If you got some beef, then you come to me, and I'll handle it with you.
Okay.
That was my prayer last night. Now, I'm not saying that God's not that way. I'm just saying if there's something going on, I prayed about it. I said, devil ain't allowed in here anymore. This is just getting ridiculous. So anyways, that's the story. It's been
the rest of the story.
That's the rest of the story. Good day. So there you go, Jason. What's up in your world? By the way, Jerica's joining us. She didn't comment in. Jerica, it's been a while. Good to see you on this morning.
I saw her comment a week or two ago.
Well, Jerica, welcome back in. It's been a while. We missed you.
Yes, we have.
Can I say something about North Dakota State? I don't care anymore. I don't broadcast for Sam Houston. Never will again. So I'll just say this.
Say it.
The Bison are a good football team. I know they beat Sam Houston twice in the national championship, but they're good people up there, good football team. Just like Sam Houston. Sam Houston's good people, good football team.
That's it.
But they played in something called the Dakota Marker. Now, this will resonate with Bearcat fans because we beat South Dakota State in the national championship to win the FCS national championship. And 2020, or some say 2021. There's still some controversy on what year you call it. Well, North Dakota State had lost to them 5 times in a row, including the national championship that I called when I was with the Bison a couple of years ago. Finally, after 5 times, North Dakota State beat South Dakota State this past weekend. So
really?
For all of our friends in North Dakota that are watching, we do have a few, Brian and Jerica and a couple others. Congratulations. Way to get that. And they have it. It's called the Mario. It's actually really cool. You know, when we played SFA, when Sam Houston played SFA, we had to battle the Piney Woods, and they had this gun that did you ever see the gun trophy? And it was I did a whole intro on it on one of my you know, instead of just calling the games, I always like to tell the history of the matchup.
Right.
And I like to go over that and just share stories, not just call the game. And And I shared a story about the history of that gun and that trophy, and it was really neat. In fact, someone had lost the original pistol. They don't ever know what happened to it. So I shared that story, and that was a huge rivalry. And so whoever won that game each year, they played in NRG Stadium, they would take that trophy back and forth from each other, whoever won. Well, Sam Houston held it a lot longer than SFA did.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing with North Dakota State and South Dakota State. They had what's called the Dakota marker. It was a boundary marker between the state lines. And somehow this ended up into the possession of one of these teams when they won. And so for years, they've been trading that thing back and forth when they win or lose.
That's pretty cool.
So some really cool stuff. Well, hey, we're going to take a break. We had a friend just come on in here. She came last week, and she said, you know, I'm off. I'm going to go ahead and come. She was still on the calendar, and so I messaged her yesterday. I said, we'd still like for you to come anyways this week. So she is here, and we're going to have a good conversation with our friend Steph Vallie, who's always welcome here on Good Morning Huntsville from Magnolia Kennel. Let's take a break. Hey, I want to give away some Cafe Texan gift cards today. 1, not 2.
Just 1?
Just 1, Jason.
All right.
And all you got to do
is text deer.
Text in the word deer. I guess I was asking for it yesterday, by the way.
I think you were.
But here's something wrong with this video. And by the way, if you've never texted in before, text in your name along with the keyword deer, D-E-E-R, to the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. Again, that number, 936-339-0139. What's wrong with this video, Jason? Watch when it restarts. What do you see there? You see that?
Yeah.
And then this. What's wrong with that video?
Well,
I've never seen that before.
That's interesting.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I can see it right away. It doesn't make any sense to me.
What is it?
Well, I think that ought to be like a bonus question.
There's something wrong.
There's something wrong with the video in the background.
With something in the background. I mentioned it yesterday. If you watched the show yesterday, you'll know what it is. But there's something that, I don't know if it's wrong, but it just doesn't feel right to me.
Well,
I've never seen it before.
I haven't seen it. I've heard that it's possible. But
isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Do you see it, Steph? Steph knows what it is. It's just kind of weird. So if you know what that is, text us in and let us know.
But I have actually seen that occurrence, personally.
I mean, it happens. It happens to me. I'll say that. It happens to me. It's not uncommon for me, but it may be uncommon for what we're seeing in this video.
I don't know.
So figure it out. Text in deer on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line 936-339-0139. As always, our Tactical Tuesdays brought to you by Guardian Defense online at GuardianDefenseLLC.com. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Hang out with us. We're having fun this morning. It is Good Morning Huntsville, where we promote the good here in our community. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at GuardianDefenseLLC.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
40 Days USA.
40 days of prayer for our nation.
Please join Donovan Cooley, Chief Servant Officer at the Discipleship Stewardship Network, as he prays for justice and accountability in government.
40 days.
As we reflect upon justice and accountability in government, Amos is challenging us, the body of Christ, and the nation of America, that we should remember that God wants us to rule by His strength. Let us pray. Lord, we lift up the United States of America. We lift up our government. We pray for all those in authority. And Lord, we pray that they would lead according to your righteousness. We pray, God, that your standard would permeate all the branches of government. May we experience the freedom so that we will bask in your presence. In Jesus' name, amen.
Join us as we pray for our nation by going to 40daysusa.com to receive the 40 Days USA prayer guide and other free resources. That's 40daysusa.com.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com. This is KHSP-LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville. Braylon, say, this is Spirit Radio.
This is Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
Hello, 54 waking up this morning. Little 54, J-Tom.
Yeah, it was a little cool this morning.
Little 54. Nice. Sound like I want to have someone from Louisiana in here. Hello, about 54 now down here now. 54 down on there.
We'll just call Odell.
Hello, Odell. How you doing now, 54 down there on the haircut on the 54? I don't, Steph. That doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
Steph's
Sounds like an auctioneer.
Steph's like
he's trying to be an auctioneer.
Mm-hmm.
Steph, do I have you turned on?
I don't know.
Oh, keep talking.
I don't know.
Oh, there it is. Oh,
there it is.
Wow. Man, Steph's got that voice.
Oh,
you really do have a voice for this. You don't think you do, but you do.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
There was one of my favorite broadcasters, Bill Schoening with the San Antonio Spurs, had one of the greatest calls I've ever heard in sports history. Mm-hmm. It's because I'm a Spurs fan. I'm biased. You know, I'm not a Rockets fan, so I say the Spurs had the best call. There's a guy that used to play for that team, Hall of Famer, Manu Ginobili from Argentina.
Oh, my goodness.
Ginobili! He was one of the triplets on the team. It was Ginobili, Parker, and Duncan when they won all those championships. And one time, Bill Schoening, great man, mentor, friend of mine, he had the greatest call. He says, "Nobody does that voodoo like you do, Manu." And so I just started thinking, nobody does that voodoo like you do. And I was thinking of you.
Well, thank you.
So that's a compliment. Steph, what's going on? Good to see you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a week. Yeah, a long time. Just rocking and rolling, just going on with life, and life is great.
Well, you're doing some really cool marketing things. Can we mention some of that real quick? I think it's a great idea. I remember at our WCRC group, I was talking about how an individual did this with magnets, and it worked out really well for his business. And you're doing something, maybe some insight this morning for some business owners out there, some different strategies to provide a little spark to them. What are you doing?
Well, I actually took this idea from Sky, which is Deep Clean, Texas, and kind of customized it for us. Here we've been in business so long, the boarding is out there. So, but we offer the doggy daycare where the dogs can come for the day and go home in the afternoon, or the day, until about 5:30. Anyway, we're right on 45, and over the years, all these apartment complexes popped up right there. So what I've been doing on my days off is taking a stack of magnets, a stack of business cards, some brochures, and going in and talking to the office managers and asking if I can put them, if they have a common area where the students are. And so far I've done probably 6, and they've all had no problem with it. And basically my marketing is to put it to whoever I'm talking to. Of course, when you're doing the marketing, you want to know your audience. When I go in and I talk to the managers, my thinking with them is, if you have telling them if they have a problem dog that is in their compound, and the student, say the person is at school all day or work all day, and the dog constantly barks, and you really can't stop a dog from barking when the person's not there. And so my marketing to them is, hey, you can ask them to send their dog to doggy daycare, and it's going to make your compound a lot quieter. So that's what we've been doing. We've been trying to get the word out about our doggy day market. So, yeah.
That's really interesting, because you, from a marketing standpoint, you see a problem and you're offering a solution.
Yeah, that's, to me, you have to know your audience, and your audience changes every single time that, whatever the problem is. I took a tour last month or month before last. We did a Segway tour in Austin, and now there's a bunch of middle-aged women, myself and others, and the girl that was giving us the tour was a young college student, and she kept talking about the party scene in Austin. And I'm like, I took her aside and I said, your market, you need to know your audience, and we're not partiers. And so she changed it a little bit. So that's my encouragement, is you need to know your audience when you're presenting your marketing.
You do. It is so important. You can... it just, like you said, it didn't make any sense for her to talk about the party scene to folks that probably aren't interested in whatever that street is where they have all the partying at in Austin.
6th Street, I think. I did that in college when I was at Sam, but not when you're 62 years old. You don't care about that.
I was going to say, they either want to take you down to Rainey, which is, in Austin, this lady, again, knowing your audience, right? This developer was so smart, and she started buying up homes on Rainey Street in Austin, these little bungalow homes. And turned them, each and every one of them has been turned into some sort of bar or restaurant now.
Oh, wow.
And it has became the new 6th Street in Austin. Rainey Street is super popular. So when you were telling me that, I was thinking like, hey, man, you want to come down to Rainey Street? Let's go party. And I could see Steph Vallie.
Yeah, that would be real fun.
Stuff like the rest of it's like 8:30. Yeah, it's
8:30.
It's 8:30, man. I've been in my pajamas for 30 minutes.
You're at that age when you're pushing yourself to finish a show, and your dogs come around and look at you like, it's time to go to bed, folks.
That's great. Well, Steph, you've done such incredible work with your business. I've just really loved over the last year, especially getting to know you and Scott as well. But y'all have done such incredible work sharing not only insights on the best ways to take care of your pets, specifically dogs, and y'all provide services from doggy daycare and boarding and everything that you can imagine. Magnolia Kennel on that end will take care of it. If there's something y'all can't, you're upfront and honest with folks. But you've also taught people a lot about business. I've asked you before about the journey for you being in business, but I'll ask it again this morning, and then I want to shift gears and talk about a really cool event coming up that you're having with Santa coming to town.
Yes, Santa is coming.
But you think about all the years now that you've been in business. What has been maybe one of the biggest takeaways for you? Maybe there's someone this morning, a young person out there, or even an older person that wants to start a business for the first time. Maybe share what you've learned and kind of maybe some pitfalls that folks need to watch out for.
Well, I think the biggest journey for me over the time that I've been open is and I wish somebody would have told me this, and set your boundaries. You can always loosen your boundaries, especially when you're a small business. And what I mean by that is, I didn't have the word no in my vocabulary when it was dealing with the clients. And my clients are wonderful. But setting your boundaries when you first open is important for your own mental health. It's not like it's a big corporation where you can go to Target and you have all these employees. Most of the time when somebody starts a small business, it's them and maybe one other person.
Correct. Them and their wife or somebody.
Yeah, or their wife or something like family.
Or kid
or cousin. Or cousin that you fired 2 times. Josh, I love you.
But boundaries is the biggest thing that I would say that you need to learn. And you can always loosen those. But it's almost like children. You can, want to have a tight rein, and then you can loosen them as your audience changes and you change and that kind of thing. And not taking things personal. That was a real journey for me, especially in my line of work, as in the sense of I get very into the animals and I take care of the animals. And sometimes, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but sometimes I feel like I take care of the animals more than some of the people do. but you've got to set boundaries, and that's the biggest thing.
So you guys are right off I-45 there on the feeder. Have y'all always owned that property, or did you have the kennel somewhere else before?
No, I was a narcotic canine sergeant for the state of Texas, and I think I've told this story before. Miss King, Edna King, was a very good friend of mine. She kind of adopted myself and 2 other girls that we came up here to school. We all had horses. We got to know her, and Jason knew her. And
we used to deliver hay to Miss King.
Yes, she was a great person. And one day we were at lunch. We got in the habit of we went to lunch every month. I mentioned to her that I would like to leave the state. The politics, the state. I had one of the best jobs in the system for the state of Texas, but the politics just wore me down. And so I asked her, and she offered me the property at a very reasonable price, and we built it from the ground up. It took us 2 years to build the building, and a lot of red tape to go through when you're building a new construction here in Huntsville. It's been a great journey, and a lot of people have helped me on the way, and I hope in the next 10 to 15 years to return that favor. And I think I've done that a little bit over time.
I'm about to say, I think you've been doing that stuff. In fact, while you were speaking, I said, when you decide to retire and whatever you wish to do with the business, whether you sell or you hand it off to somebody else or retire, I think you've got a really awesome retirement career. That's a thing now, retirement careers, as being a consultant to provide almost like a motivational speaker for other business owners. I really see you going in and doing seminars teaching people about business.
If it's related to dogs, I could do that, but it's real hard for me to be about other things. I mean, you're not the only one that has ever told me that. The lady that helped me start with the Small Business Administration, she retired, but she tried to get me to do a couple of those, and I'm, not real outgoing when it comes to certain things.
Yeah. Well, you're very good at just relaying, like the stuff you talked about marketing with the partner. I think it's such a good idea. And, there's so much that folks can learn from those that have been in business. You're going on, over 3 decades now?
November 1st will be 26 years at the kennel. I count the 2 years it took us to build the facility, and then I've been working with animals here in Huntsville for 43 years. Was that
part where y'all are at now? Was that when you got the land, when you purchased the land, was that in the city limits, or was it the county?
When I had it, yes, it was in the city. But prior to that, because I knew Edna for so long, when she first, they had that property in their family for years. Yeah. I mean, to the point before 45 was here, and of course it wasn't then. But the one thing about my property, it's so sad, is Miss Bernstein, which was Edna's mother, she planted things on this property that are not supposed to grow in the United States, let alone Texas. So these plants will pop up and and of course we've had to take some things down. But every time I take something down, I think of Miss Bernston, because when I first bought the place, she had a little rabbit car, and that's all you could get down her driveway to her house. Just this little rabbit car.
Christopher Robin.
Yes, but yeah, it was not in the city, and it has grown. And right now we're dealing with the construction people, and we just it's changed. That's the way.
Does that property eventually back up? Not y'all's part, because there's but would it backs up to Veterans Memorial? Something does back there, right?
Mm-hmm. When I first met Edna, we used to ride horses all the way back there. We had permission from I think it was Bowden. I don't know what the person's name was, but he owned all of that.
Oh, okay.
And so we used to ride horses all the way up, basically to where the gas station is, and then almost to back there.
Wow.
And we would ride through Elkins in the neighborhood and stuff. There's a pipeline or a sewer line that goes right down through there. We used to ride horses all back in there and everything. So it's not very far from Veterans from our place. Of course, you have a lake that's between us.
Okay.
And for several years that lake was dry, but then I'd say in the last 5 to 10 years, they've sealed it up now, and it's holding water again. But even the creek, when we built our facility, we had to do the FEMA studies and all that stuff. And FEMA told us then that everybody thinks we're in the low ground. We're actually pretty high. Even though we're at the bottom of a hill, they told me that if we ever flood, most of Huntsville would be underwater, because that creek that runs beside us, which I think is called McDonald's Creek, all the creeks in Huntsville feed to that. And then it feeds to Elkins and Conroe and all of that kind of stuff. So
I was thinking, if a little sliver, well, it makes sense because the lake's there, but I was like, man, that'd be great if somebody just sold y'all just a little sliver to put a driveway through there.
No, I didn't. Yeah, but that lake's there. Yeah, they couldn't go around it. We're kind of horseshoed, I was telling somebody else the other day, if I ever shut the kennel down, I would probably sell the property, just because I don't want to live on 45 anymore. 45 is great for business. It's been great to me. We're in the back. You don't even know our house is back there, that kind of stuff. But, 45 is very busy, and it's getting
busier.
Yes.
Well, Steph Vallie joining us from Magnolia Kennel here this morning. Always great to catch up with Steph and just receive some good insight on business, and always like talking history too. I just love history. I love the other day.
That's my history. I don't know how accurate it is, but that's my history.
Well, I love hearing the stories though, and for someone, we've only been here for a few years now, but I love that. My uncle, I think, used to get annoyed with me because every time he'd come to Georgetown, I'd tell him everything that was going on in the town. He's probably like, I don't care. I don't live here. But I love telling it because I was proud of it. I'm proud of where Huntsville, where it's came from and where it's going. And the other day I got bored and I went on Google Street View. And it's cool because you can see the old Hastings. You can see where HEB used to be because that's when the Google cars were driving around. And I know there's a lot of history way before that, but the Golden Corral was still here, and it's just neat seeing those things.
Seeing the change.
When I first moved here, there was a Piggly Wiggly. And
I remember shopping at Piggly Wiggly, buying school clothes at the store.
Howard's, I believe it was.
There was where shenanigans and all that was Howard's Hardware. And funny story, a number of years back, I was going through some old stuff in a storeroom, and I found a box of 410 shotgun shell ammo that had a Howard's price tag on it that my grandfather bought in the early 80s.
Well, that's one of my favorite hobbies. I love to talk to older people now that I'm in that category, but when I was young, I used to love to talk to people that were in their 80s and 90s because
you'd be so surprised how much you can learn.
Oh, yeah. Just listening. Yes,
the wisdom that they have, the ability to share.
Yeah. Miss Bernston, I believe Miss Bernston was 97 when she passed, and so that means I met her when she was in her early 80s, and she was the sweetest lady. She used to wear the cotton dresses with the bonnets, and she'd wear these big old clodhopper boots and go trailing around all those woods, and we're walking through the woods one day, and she said, "Stop!" And I'm thinking, I see a snake. I was going to step on one of her trees, so she didn't want me to squash the tree.
Better not mess up the trees.
Stuff. Yeah, but I love talking to older people. They can teach you so much.
Well, Steph, with Magnolia Kennel, a big event coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Tell us about what's
Santa's
cooking.
coming. Santa is coming to the kennel.
You better watch out. You better not. Jason?
November the 16th, which is a Saturday from noon to 4. We will have Santa at the kennel, and he'll have his big I don't know what I want to call it, a throne, but chair, and we're going to be able to offer pictures. If you want to come and just take your own pictures with your own camera, that's not a problem, but we will have a professional photographer there. That will be an additional charge, but we're just asking for donations and trying to get some of that done and get some people in to get some pictures.
Wonderful. Well,
Four-legged or two-legged children.
While you're mentioning that, I am putting my wonderful intern to work. Paid intern, by the way. So I'm
paid intern.
And I'm going to post. I've got it set up where almost every day or every other day there'll be a post about Santa to keep it in the knowledge. And if anybody would share it, I would greatly appreciate that because I need to get on the ball and decide what charity we want to give the money to, but. And we will, to a reasonable amount, we will match what we bring in to give to the charity.
Man, I just love Huntsville.
That is awesome.
Love that. Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah.
November the 16th coming up.
November the 16th, guys.
I just fired off the email to Michelle to add that to our events page.
Yeah, if you haven't been to the kennel before, please be patient with our driveway. That is the only concern I have is we do have a couple of spots on our driveway that 2 vehicles cannot pass, so we need to be patient and have the Christmas spirit and be nice to each other.
Rev up the engine, lay on the horns. All the dogs, what's going on? Hey, one thing that I noticed about the kennel too, y'all have thought of everything, and y'all even have kind of a cover, if you will, not fully. It's a little bit transparent. I'll put it that way. It's not fully covered, but it's kind of transparent. And that kind of helps, I guess, with the dogs, so they're not, see, you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the fence lining?
On the fencing, yes, ma'am. Yeah, you have the fence lining in there.
That, to be honest with you, because I kind of try to think ahead, that cuts down on the sun. But the big reason I did that is because some dogs will have some anxiety when their people drop them off. And one of the first things we do when the dogs come in is let them out in the yard, because people will say, "Oh, my dog pottied before it got in the car."
Yeah, right.
Well, the car motion makes them have to go again. So we'll put them out in the yard, and when the car goes by and turns around and comes back, I was covering it where the dogs couldn't see, the physical
they're like, "Oh, he's coming back already."
They're leaving.
Yeah, but they can hear it and all that kind of stuff. But it did help. It does help. And we are slowly taking down those screens and putting up a solid fence.
Wonderful.
Everything we do at the kennel is
it's intentional.
Thought out for the dog. It's not for the people. It's not, that's why we didn't put a big fancy a waiting room in.
Marble kitchen.
Yeah, we didn't put it. That is not beneficial for the dogs. So in the long run, it doesn't benefit for us. So everything we do is thought out for the dogs. We have a buried fence so the dogs cannot dig out underneath the fence. It's a 6-foot fence, so very few dogs can go over a 6-foot fence unless they're working dogs. So that kind of stuff.
Full disclosure, obviously not a veterinarian, but I do have to ask you something about dogs' diets.
Diets? Okay.
Diets. There's all these new commercials. It's the new craze to get your dog the food that you eat. I don't know if you've seen these on. Yeah. And I get so annoyed. I get annoyed when I see it. Like, would you want to feed your dog this or blah, blah, blah. Man, I've been feeding my dog Purina their entire lives.
Yeah.
And my little one lived to be almost 20. I'm not switching what I'm feeding my dogs. I know people that feed their dogs all this organic hoopla, whatever. I'm not hating on you. I'm just telling you that I fed my dogs the same thing She lived to be 20. Some of y'all are feeding y'all's dog all this natural stuff, and your dogs aren't going past 8 years old.
You can't speed up their life.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Is a dog okay to eat what they've been eating? Should you feed them that kind of stuff? What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts with the food is dogs are individuals just like we are. It doesn't matter what, even though you'll have golden retrievers, not all golden retrievers can eat the same thing, my thoughts with the food is if it's not broken, don't change it. But like my personal dog, Stanley, he was a rescue out of the National Forest. When we got him, his ears were closed, all this kind of stuff. He had to become a vegetarian for almost 2 years. Now we are starting to slowly introduce meat protein back into his diet, but I'm not going to cook for him. I go down and buy it that way. I don't have time to cook for him. If you do, that's great. But if your dog is healthy on Purina, stick with Purina.
And it was actually Beneful. That's what I fed him. Beneful.
Yeah, Beneful. I mean, it doesn't matter. I would not, and no harsh feelings to old Roy. The one thing you've got to keep in mind with dog food, what goes in has to come out. Okay, so if a brand
feed a
tells
filler type dog food,
exactly,
you're going to have a lot of filler in your yard.
Yes, and your house and all these other things. So the higher quality dog foods is beneficial for you because it saves you time. But once again, you have to take into consideration the dog's needs. Some dogs don't need all of that, some dogs do. But yes, I would love to be able to just feed a bland, no special dog food to Stanley, but it doesn't work that way with him.
My little dog doesn't even eat dog food.
I won't show this video on here, but when you just mentioned what the dog has, comes out.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be gross about that. There was a dog in Asia. Have you heard of the Orbeez? The little, these are little beads that expand when they get wet and stuff. They're these Orbeez beads. Well, somehow a dog had gotten into an entire. I won't show the video here, but the dog.
Wow.
Yeah, the dog is actually the belly of the dog was completely. Well, that's not. This isn't too bad. I'll show it here. It's not too bad. Look at this.
Dogs will eat. A lot of dogs will eat anything. I mean, Stanley has eaten corn on the cob, just the cob before, and caused us trouble, and just all kinds of things.
I mean, I'm not joking about it, but this poor dog is pooping out the beads.
Yeah.
And they showed a video of this. The poor little dog, and there was an X-ray video that this dog had eaten so many of these things. And thank goodness that they're tiny little things that he was able to pass them. But, man, you got to be careful with your pets.
Well, and that's the thing is it might be in their gut for a while. They might eat something they're not supposed to, and it might be in their gut for a while. And it can cause other problems. It can cause clogs and all that kind of stuff, emergency vet clinic. And you talking about expensive. Take your dog to an emergency vet clinic and see how expensive that is.
Yeah,
so.
man, goodness.
Yeah. It's not. It's you're talking $1,000 to walk in the door, basically.
Steph, when I messaged her last night, she goes, "I don't know what we'll talk about," and who would have known we're going to show a video of a dog eating Orbeez. And, when you were saying all this, the only food that I can think of is Taco Bell. It goes in the way it comes. It comes out the way it goes in.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. One thing we did a year ago, instead of raising our prices for our boarding, we decided to change the policy that the person needs to bring their own food, and then that way it kept us down. We didn't have to raise our prices, and actually, it has actually helped with our cleaning ritual because people would bring the dogs, and our dog food that we feed is very high quality. But the switching of it is what caused it. Immediate switching. When you switch a dog, and I would assume that it's any animal. When you switch, when you switch an animal's food, they're not like us. They think you can eat steak this night and chicken this night. You want to do it gradually. You want to take 25 pounds and mix it with the next dog food that you're going to add it to, unless they're having an allergy reaction or something like that. But if you're just changing it for the benefit of the cost, or a lot of people run into being able to get the dog food, then you want to do it gradually, mix it, and let their system get used to it. The sudden change is what will cause a lot of stomach distress. Yeah.
All right. Well, there she is, Steph Vallie, with some great advice, not only business, but pet advice specifically with your dogs.
And
Steph, we appreciate you.
It's just not dogs. I mean,
Yeah,
it can be cats. It can be farm animals. You can get one sick real quick.
Yeah. Years ago, first couple of years I was open, I had, and y'all probably don't remember this, there was a lady that was bringing her dog food, and I was fixing it. Well, she had 2 dogs. Within a day or 2 of them going home, one of them got sick, and she took it to the vet, and its kidneys were failing and all this kind of stuff. Well, they thought that we had fed it something, and come to find out, the dog food that they were feeding got recalled. And it had some form of a rat poison in it that was causing the dog.
Did the dog pass away? Oh,
no, they kept but that's what I'm saying is you don't know. We have regulations, but you don't know what has gotten into the food. That happens a lot with farm animals, because isn't it the horses can't eat the cow food, or the cows can't eat the horse food, or something like that? And
horses typically don't do good on urea.
Yeah.
Which is a, cost-effective protein, additive to cattle feed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they say that horses shouldn't eat it, but I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of horses that did eat it, and they were just as ornery as the next one.
Just as ornery as Jason Thompson.
That's it.
But in reality, if you have any questions about your food, like Rob said, I'm not the expert. Mine's just experience. Talk to your veterinarian. Your veterinarian is the one that's qualified to answer questions.
Veterinarian, reach out to maybe the university, talk to a person in the animal nutrition department. The county agent's a good resource,
Yes.
They may not have the answer, but they'll be able to point you in the right direction.
Yes, yes.
There's resources everywhere. Don't just Google it.
Yeah, just don't take our word for it. Do your own research, because every animal is an individual animal, just like people.
Well, Steph, appreciate it. So much good insight today, and make sure to follow Steph on their social media pages at Magnolia Kennel. Also, thank you for all the promotion that you do, not just for your business, but so many others in the community as well.
She does it for our WCRC members. Steph is like a rock star when it comes to helping promote, not just her business, but other folks.
She may be that party animal that they were talking about in Austin.
Yeah, she is.
What about a rock star?
Yeah, right.
I'm going to get you a Kiss shirt, Steph.
Well, Scott,
we're going to get her a Kiss shirt.
Now, Scott's favorite group is Kiss.
There you go.
And mine more country or, opposites.
Perfect. I love it. Well, all right, friends, we'll go to magnoliakennel.com for more information. It's easy to set up an appointment to book. And if you have any questions, reach out to them there on the website. Steph will always be there to provide insight and take care of you as best as they can to meet your needs. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's been so much fun today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
It's always fun to have Miss Steph.
It is. Yeah. Well, we're going to continue. Steph, by the way, did you figure out what was wrong with this video? Here's our sponsor. Hold on. Here's our keyword.
Boy, get to the keyword.
There we go. Keyword deer is the keyword. 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. Your final opportunity, by the way, to text in to win a Cafe Texan gift card today. 936-339-0139. Steph, what did you notice about that video?
It's a buck with 2 babies. Yeah. It could be not a buck.
It is a deer that has antlers, which signifies it could be a buck, but you don't know.
It could high chance that it is a buck, but it also
weird.
So.
And I said earlier, it's not common to see that. It is common in our household because my little girl follows Daddy everywhere. So it's common in my household.
I have 2 little girls, but they have 4 legs, and they follow me everywhere.
See? Yes. So it's common, but not very common there.
Yeah. And I would say, after your accident with the deer, be cautious, people, because the deer are moving right now. So that's...
Yeah, I was reading an article the other day that deer in this area, some of the males are already in rut.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes, and that's a few weeks early, to be honest. It generally doesn't start till, the end of November, 1st of December, historically.
Yeah.
When the big rut, but it's starting a little early this year.
Well, that's why Scooby-Doo says rut-row.
Rut-row.
Watch out. All right, we'll take a break. Text in that keyword. As always, our terrific Tactical Tuesdays brought to you by Guardian Defense for all things personal safety, including gun safety classes and more. They also sell firearms as well as ammunition.
We sell firearms. We clean firearms. Guys, rifle season is just around the corner. Maybe you want to make sure your rifle's on. We have a range for that, or we can do it for you.
And I think opening season is November the 2nd.
November the 2nd is opening morning of rifle season for whitetail deer.
Oh, awesome. You think if somehow they taught folks to shoot from their legs, would it have been called fire legs instead of firearms?
Maybe.
Steph's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that.
Where do you think shooting from the hip came from?
From me? From my last name?
Yeah.
That's our family started it.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we'll take a break. Kyle's over here. He just walked in. He's like, I'm about to leave. This is terrible.
This is getting bad in here. I didn't bring my waders.
All right, we'll take a break. Stay with us. We'll wrap it up when we come back. This is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville, as always, brought to you by Guardian Defense. Stay with us. We'll be back in a few moments.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
All right, friends, back at it. We'll close it up here in just a few moments. 54 degrees. A few minutes ago, I just reloaded, still 54 degrees.
That's fine. That's a nice temperature.
86 today, patchy fog, sunny a little bit later today. 61 tonight, 87 tomorrow. Highs will remain in the mid to upper 80s throughout the rest of the week. You know, they're saying this could end up being one of the warmest Octobers on record. And
they're also predicting where you could have a very warm and dry winter this year.
We're already seeing that dry. I talked to my mom yesterday. In fact, they're in Central Texas. Georgetown has not had rain now for nearly 2 months straight. They are back into drought restrictions in that area. It's crazy to think
and they're
about.
talking about drought coming to this part of Texas again.
So there's a lot going on that we definitely want to keep alert about. Hey, some cool news here. This made the national radio programming today. 1836. None other than our very own Sam Houston, who was baptized, who went to this church. Who went to this church, the oldest Baptist church in the state of Texas. Z.N. Morrell founded first way back in the earlier 1800s. Sam Houston went here. He was inaugurated as the first constitutionally elected president of the Republic of Texas. So pretty cool.
That's
Sam
pretty cool.
Houston making the national radio promos today. Pretty cool stuff. On this date, 1934, bank robber Charles Pretty Boy Floyd was shot to death by the FBI at a farm in East Liverpool, Ohio. Ironically, not very pretty, but Pretty Boy there. Do you ever heard of him?
I've heard the name.
You know anybody? Have you ever known anybody nicknamed Pretty Boy?
No.
Pretty Boy, pretty. I do. It's off that movie with oh, come on.
The Outsiders?
No, hold on. Who's the funny comedian that was in Bruce Almighty? Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, and there's that little bird Petey, and poor Petey, the bird dies, and they tape his head back on with duct tape, and that little boy is sitting there going, pretty boy, Petey's pretty boy. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I never watched that movie.
Kyle knows what I'm talking about. Definitely not pretty there either. A couple of other things going on today, which is pretty cool.
Look at him scanning on the phone.
1939, the very first televised football game took place.
All right.
The Eagles versus the Dodgers. Did not know that the Dodgers played football. A team with the name of the Dodgers played football.
I didn't know that.
Did you know that?
No.
These two teams played each other today. One would have helmets and pads. The other would have baseball bats.
Mm-hmm.
And
gloves.
That'd be pretty cool to see that. It was on this date in 1948, the Xerox machine made its debut. Immediately, though, everyone began copying it. That was pretty good. I don't come up with these, by the way. How about this?
Yes, he does.
No, I do not. Hey, do you know Roman numerals? If I say VII, do you know what that is? That sounds like
VII.
V6. Is that 8? Is V6?
No, V is 5, so that would be 7.
7. Kyle Kreiner got it. 1967, Apollo 5 or Apollo 7 spacecraft returned safely, splashing down the Atlantic Ocean after orbiting the Earth 163 times and couldn't find a parking spot. Had to come back to Earth. 1967. In this date, 1981, the U.S. national debt topped $1 trillion. These days, that would mean Congress is doing pretty good. Hey, how about this? Today is National Tavern-Style Pizza Day.
What's a tavern-style pizza?
You know when I hear tavern, I think of that restaurant back in the day, Bennigan's. Is that still open? You remember Bennigan's?
I remember Bennigan's.
It was like a tavern when you walked in. It was always real dark and kind of gloomy, but it was a really cool place, yeah. National Tavern-Style Pizza Day. It's also, Steph, this tied into you today. It's National Make a Dog's Day. Make a Dog's Day today. We could have made a dog today. I don't know what that means, but
let the dog do what it wants.
It's also National Color Day and also National Nut Day. Steph was down in a town that was full of them down there on the Segway a while back. Oh, good stuff. None of these other ones really. Christopher, whoa, check this out. This is scary, man. Christopher Lloyd, obviously Doc from Back to the Future, his birthday is today. Now, that guy looked 86 back then. He turns 86 today.
Really?
Can you believe that? 86. Getting closer and closer to his past. If there was ever a time for Doc to invent a time machine, it would be right now.
Mm-hmm.
But he looked 86 back then. And I thought, man, is this – and he's still going. Mm-hmm. That dude's like Timex, man. let's see. What is this? National Duck Day. We've done this before, but it gets the phones going. Office. That's kind of dumb. We won't even read that. Okay. Things you need to know today. Have you been watching any football? You don't watch much football, do you, Jason?
I don't have time for football.
Well, a fan ran out onto the field during the Jets-Steelers game Sunday night with a pro-Trump sign, promptly arrested. Now, in fairness, if it would have been any sign, they would have been arrested. You're not allowed to run out there and do that.
No.
Boy, yeah, Steph said at least he was wearing something. I couldn't agree with that. There's nothing else really here. United States Postal Service, they've reached a tentative agreement with 200,000 members of Mail Carriers Union. I didn't even know the USPS had a Mail Carriers Union.
I didn't either.
One of the big wins for the workers. All new work. Look at this. This is sad. One of the biggest wins. What is something, let me ask you this question, Jason. What is something that when you see a postal carrier and the government-issued little Jeeps that they have or those little cars they drive, what is one thing that you think about?
That they are not air-conditioned.
That's it. That's the number one thing that I think of also. Those folks, just like UPS, they don't have air conditioning in those things. Well, check this out. Part of the union, the tentative agreement is all new vehicles must have AC. We shouldn't even have to be talking about that. We're in 2024. They have never had AC in those vehicles. Now they have them, or they will get them. Funeral home in Poland. Boy, they are apologizing today. A body they were transporting slid out of the hearse and landed in traffic. Goodness.
That's probably not a good day.
Goodness gracious. If you want to avoid that, and when that time comes, call our friends at Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Their slogan used to be, because every life deserves to be remembered. Trust me, you won't remember somebody falling out into the 45 because they'll make sure they take care of it. But, yeah, pretty tough. Boy, one of the biggest suppliers of French fries to McDonald's, they're going to close the factory and lay off 400 people. It turns out those $5 value meals with smaller amounts of fries lowered demand. So this company that provides, have you ever got the Happy Meals for the kids? It's like this teeny tiny little, which is good. They don't need the big. The kids don't need to be eating that much of that stuff. But anyways, they're laying them off. So there you go. Today's impossible question. This is kind of a weird one, because I feel like I've done this before. 1 in 3 of us, 1 in 3.
1 in 3.
Of us, 1 in 3 have done this in our sleep. What is it? Probably. Kyle didn't even know he just says probably.
Probably. Don't have a clue, but I'm sure I've done it.
1 in 3 of us have done this in our sleep. Think about that. Did you know 21% of people would never sing a song in public? I can't even get you to sing on this show, Jason.
That's kind of close to public.
I know. 47% of people are uncomfortable talking about their debt when it comes to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about it with you earlier.
You did.
Because my friends at Walker County Federal helped me out, consolidating a bunch of stuff. 96% of teenagers who spend time alone, guess what they're doing? They're on YouTube. 96% of them on YouTube. 41% of men in a survey said they can't go a week without a pizza. Can't go a week. Come to think of it, I feel like I eat a slice of pizza at least once a week. Tom Foolery's doesn't help with that.
I couldn't tell you the last time I ate pizza. Probably was at Tom Foolery's with one of the grandkids.
Would you like to ruin a family outing?
How's that?
Take a photo more than 7 times. If you want to ruin a family outing, you take more than 7 photos. It'll ruin the family outing, according to this survey. Over a lifetime, this one's crazy. Guess how many feet in a lifetime, how many feet of fingernails will you go through? Take a guess. In a lifetime.
7.
100 feet of fingernails in a lifetime. I'm going to start saving mine, I think. Just keep them in a little jar. Yeah. Yeah, Kyle was talking about people that grow. There was a Guinness World Book of Records guy that I saw that had been growing his for like 50 years, and he keeps it in a bag. And when he takes it out, it just looks, or as my friends in Fargo would say, he keeps it in a bag.
In a bag,
and it does not look good. 1 in 4 drivers, by the way, also run at least 1 red light a week. 1 in 4 drivers. I ran one the other day. I'll be honest. It gets to that yellow point, and I'm already going, and it's like, do I hit the brakes? Sometimes they go really fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time that I've really run a red light is when that yellow light's there, and it's
when they throw the timing off. And it's a fast change yellow. Yeah.
That's about the only time. I try not to do that though, especially with the.
You better not in Huntsville, man. I heard there's a new patrolman on the street. He's got a new nickname.
Well, whoever he is, he looked at my registration on the front of my truck, and then he decided to take a turn, and I thought he was coming for me. I'm not running from the police. I did everything. I didn't know if he was coming for me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I turned really quick into Arby's because I'm going to get – he just kept on going, and then he got the next guy. So please don't come get me today. I'm working on that, by the way. All right. Here we go. Here it is. Today's impossible question. 1 in 3 of us have done this in our sleep. What is it, Jason?
Sleepwalk.
Sleepwalk. Good answer. Kyle? Kyle said probably. Steph? Hit your spouse.
What is it?
Send a text. One in 3 of us have sent a text in our sleep. I've done it. There we go. There's 2 out of 4. I've done it. I've been half asleep. I may have not been in full sleep, but I woke up in the morning and I was like, I don't remember sending that. And it trust me, there was no influence of anything. But then I started thinking about it. I said, you know what? I was dozing off last night and I vaguely remember doing that. I've done it before, Jason. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of Kyle.
I need to make fun of you.
We're a different breed. All right, let's head over to the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line. We got a winner today. If you don't answer, Jason and I are going to Cafe Texan. How about that?
That sounds good.
Here we go. Let's call our winner.
Good morning.
Hello.
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 What are you doing?
Hello, this is Ron McMurtry here. I'm calling from Conroe, the big city of Conroe. We don't really like to call Huntsville too much because we're the uppities here in this area, in the Conroe area. Who are we speaking with today?
You're speaking to Tammy.
Hello, Tammy. Just wanted to let you know you cruised through our town on 45. We got you on the speeding camera, and you went too fast, and you got a ticket coming your way, okay? I don't know what
I'm sure I do.
I don't know if you people in Huntsville think it's okay to speed, but we don't do it here in Conroe, okay?
Are you sure about that?
Just kidding. Is this Tammy S?
This is Tammy Trotter-Shooty, yes. This is the Tammy.
Tammy TS. Wait, what is it? Tammy, how'd you say it?
Trotter.
T.
And Shooty.
TTS.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is double TS. I like that better. What's up, double TS? What have you been up to?
Oh, nothing. Just slacking.
Hey, what are you doing these days? I don't ever see you anymore. What are you up to? Just slacking? I mean, what are you up to, though?
I'm up to nothing. Just do stuff around the house, crochet, and do crafts and sew.
Boy, that sounds like the life.
Whenever my daughter wants something, I get after it and make it for her.
Can I tell you real quick that I'm not afraid to admit this. I know how to crochet.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Why would you
my mother
be
taught
proud
me.
of that.
My mom taught me how to crochet. She also taught me how to sew on plastic canvas, Jason.
Okay.
I used to make little boxes.
Good morning, Jason.
Good morning.
I used to make little boxes, Tammy, and on the school bus I would sell them. I would plastic canvas these boxes together, and they'd have a little lid that you could open, and I would sell them for 25 cents.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was my first entrepreneurial.
I used to make deer jerky and take it to school and sell it.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better than what I did. Thanks, Jason. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and there you go. Thanks, buddy.
There's nothing wrong with that. We're just all different in what we do.
Tammy, by the way, is starting a crochet club. That will take place every Thursday night at Tom Fullery's Pizza, so make sure to join her. 7 o'clock, Tom Fullery's The Crochet Club getting underway, right?
No. No.
That was a quick no, Tammy.
That's a great thought.
Yeah, it is. The Crochet Club. How cool is that? Like,
well, you have trivia nights, you got Singo, you got, all these other bingo-related things. They should just have a crochet night for people that like to do that.
You drive by Houston, and they got that big fancy, the Racket Club, and then I looked it up, and boy, the price is a racket. That thing is like $10,000 just to be a member of it. So why don't we have the Crochet Club? Just charge people $10 a year. I'd join it.
You would?
Yeah, the crochet stuff's like, I ain't joining it.
Kyle and I are down. You start it, and I'll join it, and then I'll come every once in a while.
Kyle and I would be awesome in that club. Hi, Bubba. Hi, Bubba. What kind of thread do you got? Hi, Bubba. I got purple. What do you got? I got green.
Well, I have 2 grandbabies, so I started making those little stuffed animals.
That is cool.
And
though.
my daughter goes, "Will you make one for so-and-so?" And I says, "Not that one, I won't, 'cause that took me a long time to do."
My mom used to crochet beanies, and all my friends wanted them when I was in high school. She was really talented. She would knit them, actually. There's a difference between crocheting and knitting. Knitting, you can get the really thin thread, right? You can make the really cool waves and designs and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And I don't know how she does it, but she's awesome at it. Well, and I'm not joking about this, by the way. I had to quit wearing that hat in public because people thought that I was sick, wearing that hat. So I quit wearing it. But all my friends wanted those things. They were pretty legit. So, Tammy, if you could carry on my mom's tradition and knit me one or crochet me one of those beanies, that would be awesome.
I will do that.
And one of the most popular ones that she did is she made beer can hats. She would take aluminum cans, take a hole punch, and she made beer can hats. Well, and for my dad, it was beer cans. For us, it was Dr. Pepper cans. But she'd make hats out of crochet and aluminum.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
All right. Hey, 25.
You never seen those?
Oh, go ahead, Tammy.
Jason's never seen the beer can hats?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'll see
purses.
if I can find a pattern and make one.
That's right. They made purses. I think you need one.
I need one.
Yeah, you need a hat like that. And then I just want to start calling you Bubba. Hi, Bubba. You been drinking a lot of Dr. Peppers? Hi, Bubba. All right, Tammy, $25. We decided Jason and I are going to keep it for ourselves. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.
You know what? Enjoy it. Take it.
I'm just kidding. We're giving it to you. $25 to Cafe Texan. Hey, can you come up here to First and pick it up?
When?
Here at First, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 3.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, I got your name on it, so it will be waiting for you up here at First. And God bless you. Before we go, Jason's got a question for you.
What are you most thankful for today?
I'm thankful for the wonderful people in Huntsville.
Awesome.
And that includes you too, Rob.
Thank you. I'm so glad to make
including
that list.
Rob. Rob made the list.
Very thankful to make that list, Tammy. No, we've enjoyed it. You've came on the show before, haven't you? Didn't you come hang out with us one time on the show, I thought?
I come sit on the back. I do not get on your show, no.
Okay. See, I was trying to trick her to get her to come on. All right, Tammy. Well, thank you for calling in. You won it on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line, $25.
She does so well on the phone, We'll just tell her the cameras are off.
Yeah, we'll just tell them you're off. That's right.
I don't believe y'all.
Come on.
All right. Well, hey, have a blessed day, Tammy. We love you, and God bless you, all right?
You too. Thank you. God bless you.
All right, there she is. TTS, double TS, the winner
double
today.
TS.
Jason, that'll wrap it up, man. Been a fun day here. Another good
has.
episode. Appreciate Steph Vallie for coming. Kyle Kreiner, the brisketeer of Huntsville, making his way in today, hanging out with us in the stewed.
In the stewed. At the mag. You got to, if your dog needs a boarding, take him to the mag.
Mm-hmm. We talked about this. If you need to go get some safety and some training, go to the guard.
That's it.
Call up J Tomp. All right, that'll wrap it up. Many of you today joining us. Thank you so much for being with us. And we did not have a chance to get to you guys today, but thank y'all all for being a part of the show. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Rick and Kay Boning joining us from Tomorrow's Promise as we continue celebrating all things good here in Huntsville. We'll have Sky Carlton on Thursday, and on Friday we'll have Teresa Verrier joining us. So a busy week as we celebrate all things. And go vote, according to did you know over 2,100 people early voting yesterday? 2,100.
That's what
at
I was.
the storm shelter.
I was read some articles about that.
I went
big turnout.
I went yesterday at lunch. I thought I've got just a few minutes. Did not know at the time. By the way, I mentioned all this stuff about my truck. I forgot to mention the deer also scraped the tire, and the tire's about to rupture because the sidewall had actually got tore from the deer as well. So that's why I'm not driving the truck. But I went to the storm shelter yesterday. I thought I had about a 15, 20-minute window. I said, nah, that line was wrapped around the building. So I still got time. I'm going to go back and here before November the 5th. All right, we love you, Huntsville. Jason, thank you, man.
Great show, brother.
Great show because you were here and Steph was here and Kyle showed up. So appreciate you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, 7:30 as I end every show, reminding you this morning we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until then, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at it with Rick and Kay Boning of Tomorrow's Promise, bright and early tomorrow at 7:30. So long, Jason.
So long.